Amazon State Functions, and it is also called serverless microservices orchestrations. So if you see nowadays, many applications developed using the microservices, and these are the services, microservices for a typical applications. And in our case, each microservices represent one Lambda applications or one Lambda serverless functions. So microservices need to communicate to each other. So this Lambda will call this Lambda will call this, right? And actually applications made up of the many microservices, and most of time your applications require more than one microservices, right? And sometimes even with the conditions. So if it is working execute, then this should not execute. If it is executing, then this should not execute. So a lot of conditions involved there, and hence proper coordination and the communication required among these microservices, because sometimes we have to execute these microservices in the sequential form, sometimes it is into the parallel and the branching things, right? So if you see how to, these are the typical applications and how we can manage. Okay, we can write the code for the Lambda, but how to communicate each other? So you have to write more code to communicate, and it is not very much easy. Okay, if you have the small applications, we can somehow the manage this coordination, but think about this kind of the modern applications, whether Amazon there, Flipkart there, they have the thousands of microservices, and we have to communicate these thousands microservices, and it not be easy through the code. Why? Because if these serverless functions sometimes run in the execution sequential form, in parallel form, in the branching form. If one service break down, we have to roll back. After the rollback, you have to again the retry mechanism, and sometimes we have to execute in the try catch block execution. And for the some services, you have to wait for the one service, then you have to execute the next service, and you have to maintain the transition, scale out, error handling. So many tasks are there to maintain the coordination among the microservices. And what approach we do usually use? By the function chainings, means from one function to another function, or the database table, we maintain one database table and keep all the provenance and the state of the each microservices, or sometimes we use the message queuing also. But that is not sufficient, and a lot of times is good to maintain this kind of the orchestrations. Then the solution is AWS state functions. What is that? This is what the basic funda behind is the state machine. So how to maintain the state of the each Lambda functions. So it is very easy to build, because we have the pictorial format and the visual workflow by which we can easily develop the state functions. And I will show you demo, and within the minute you can know to make a lot of things here. And the second benefit is that the resiliency. So if any Lambda functions get breakdown, how you can make it up again, up and running, with the help of the try catch and the rollback mechanism. And third is no need to write so much code to maintain these things. Just you have to configure few line of JSON code, and your state functions is ready. And typically, if you see the modern applications, if you see data processing, we have many ETLs job, right? And when you place the order on Amazon, behind the screen, a lot of things is happening. Orders goes to seller, it go to the stock, inventory, finance. One by one, each microservices have to execute based upon the conditions. So those kind of applications, step function is much required. A second example, automated tasks. If you have any deployment, whether you want to upgrade, installations, migrations automatically, then step function is much more useful to make everything automated. And if you have any monolithic application you want to convert into the microservice architecture, then you can use step functions to establish your microservice applications. And the applications architectures, as I discussed, that if you have the many machines, you want to handle error handling, timeout, retires, you have too many EC2, how we can do easily. So this microservices is the we can maintain through the step functions. And if you see, that is not only to you have to execute one microservice to another microservice, right? We have the many things. We have the parallel, means if you want to execute the two microservices together, or if you want to wait, one microservices till another is continue. So those kind of tasks is there. So let us start to how we can use the state functions Amazon. So for that, go here, and first I will say you go and open one state function for better understanding. Click the start button and see, go here again back and create one face here. So you can see this is the first. By default is giving the one small state machines. Here you have the two resource, right? One is the, or we can say the lambda function. We have the two lambda functions. So these are the lambda functions. The sequence of that, it will start, it will first execute the first one and second one, then it is going to end. Each this rectangle box is one lambda functions. Even if you want to change the name, you can change the name here. So I can say this is my first and this is my second. Now you have to say which one you are going to start. So I am going to start the first one. Let me just explain what is this. So it is going to start from the first. Okay, see, this is showing the red color, means some error is there. You are saying after executing the first one, which one want you execute? I am saying the second one. So in the next, you have to put the second keyword. Now it is perfect. Now say, as per the moment you change the code, your pictorial format also is going to change, right? So let me see the syntax here. Comment, you give one comment, what is the purpose for this state machine, and from which stacks you want to start. So I want to start from the first, and in the first, what is the resource, which lambda you want to execute, and all those things you can mention. And here is the type is just I am passing the type. Okay, I'm just passing from here to here. Right now I'm not calling to any lambda. And the result, so whatever the result is there, that result we have to want to the pass the second one. So result of the first one, you can see the first one here, result of the first one pass to the second one, and from second one you can see I am making the end here, right? So ending is showing the end here. If you also make the end here, let me show what is happening there. So now it both is ending, right? So both is ending here, first and second. And let me do show something here. So suppose I want to start from the second, not from the first, then how the pictorial format is there. You can see the pictorial format is changed, right? So this is the way we can make the sequence. If you want to add one more, so I want to add the third one. So what you have to do, copy here and make the third. See, so for it will start from first, second it will end, right? But I want to know after first, second, after second, third should be there. So you have to change here next and say the third. So you can show the third is going there, right? Now first, second, third. Let me show one branching, how you can make the branching. For the branching, what you have to do, you have to change the type here. So first this type should be the error. Now result is not be there, and make what I'm example, means I have to execute one paragraph, means I will execute the second and third in the paragraph and then the end. So then I can say end is equal to true. And now you have to define what task is going to run, right? And the my task is the branches, means I want to create the branch here. And branch, branch is the array and how many state you want to give in one branch, right? So suppose if I want to give the 2, so comma things you can do it, right? And each branch is the one each branch is the one state, right? And inside there are many states are there. So what you have to do, again you have to do the state from here. So you can just copy paste, because it is similar the state, so I make the copy paste, right? Okay, so I want to start from the second, give the second, and what is the state of the second, we can give here this as it is, you can copy. Now I don't want to here, I want here, so you put the state here. Okay, and the same way we want to for this part also, right? Because I want the two part, and this is the third, and just copy this third part. I want to put into the parallel executions, right? So put the third part here. And now if you see, now this is not required, this is not required, and we can make the end here, right? So end is equal to, we can say that after execution it should go to the true. Now you can see our it has been changed, right? So it will start. Now the complete rectangle box's name is the first, so that's why it's starting the first. It will start from here, it will run the second and third both, and then both are going to end. You can see it is both going to end. Some way if you want to know, I want to make the third continuous, so instead of that you can say that next is equal to Steve the third, so it will auto call happen, and some conditions we want to make it fail also. So you can see this is the auto things is coming. Okay, now on top of that you want to make one more task, right? So if you want, then what you have to do, you suppose I want to make one trigger, the one more things, my state name is the trigger. So what we have to do in we will start from here, and yeah, from here you put one more thing, that's it. So now I add one more state, but I want to start from the trigger. So in the starting point you make the trigger. Okay, so this enough here, but you can do some more experiment to how to arrange your state as per your requirement. Now let us start and to create one state function. So what you have to do, first and foremost you have to create one IAM role. So go first IAM, and you have to create the two roles, one for the Lambda, one for the state functions. So go to the role, create a role, first take the Lambda, and in my previous video I have already explained that for the Lambda you should have the two things. One is the basic Lambda execution role, and second is the CloudWatch. I would recommend please visit my previous video to get more information on the AWS many videos. I added just two and give the name Lambda, and I have to create one more roles for the step functions. So go here, this time I will choose the step functions. Where is the step functions here? This one. Step functions came. Now go to the permission, and I just need the AWS Lambda row is sufficient, and give the name. And just create the row. Okay, done. Now come to the step functions, is already there, we are, yes, and create the new step functions, give the name here, and I will run the two Lambda. So one name I will give the first, second I will give the name second, start should from the first, and tasks we have to change into the resource, because this time I'm going to call the resource, means I'm going to call the lambda. Okay, and then you have to type is equal to, sorry, type is equal to tasks, and resource is equal to and can you see here, it also giving the, if you not change anything, suppose I'm given the result, it's giving the already the no, it is not supporting, you have to give the resource, right? So have to give the resource name here, and next is the second, right? Okay, so what is saying that field value is not varied. Okay, I have to put the lambda arn. I will do that. I have already set up these things, for the time being keep it here, and now go to the lambda and create the lambda. So first I will create the first lambda and the second lambda. Okay, create the first lambda, give the name first, Python I'm going to use. And what I will do, I will make one small applications and give the permission here. Permission we have just created one role, YouTube lambda today, create function. I will send just some few data from the first to second lambda. So I'm just passing one hard code, nothing more thing I'm doing here. I will just passing one hard code, so it will pass to the second lambda. So what I did here, just I take one hard code informations, and it is returning to the hard code. So it will pass from first to the second lambda. Just keep it like this. Click the deploy button and make one more lambda. Okay, so second lambda. In the second lambda we will accept all those things what I am sending from the first one, to just show how the one lambda passed to the second lambda through the step function. The same here. And came here in the second. So we are going to accept all those things what from the first lambda is coming, right? So what I will do, I will just accepting the first lambda. So these three things would come from the first lambda, right? If you see in the first lambda, these three things is coming, right? This is the first lambda. These three things I'm passing: car name, condition, how old. And in the second lambda, I'm accepting all those things, and I'm making just one method. This is one small use case. If you give the car information for the resale, I can give what is the car price should be there. So nothing great here. I'm just calling one function, and now this time I'm returning one more parameter, price. So now deploy it. Now I have the two lambda, right? Go to the step functions. Our step functions on the first lambda, go to the first and take the this arn. Just click here, it will copy. Go in the first, you pass it. So simple. The same way, go the second lambda. Go here, arn, copy, and come to the second one. That's it. Done everything. Now this is the final code. Okay, and this is the orchestrations. It will start from first and second. Now next you have to give one existing rule. We have already created one, YouTube step function today. That's it. Step function. Now everything done. Now let me execute. So go the start execution. I'm not passing anything from the first. I'm passing the hard code. Again, I want to show you. This is the first lambda. I'm passing the hard code. That's why in the I'm not passing anything in my test. Now at the start execution. If you see the start execution, it is showing the green color. Means both work perfectly. Both executed perfectly. So go the first. What was the first input? input was this one from testing, that I'm not going to use that. And if you see the output, output is this part. The same informations we are passing from the first lambda. If you see the first lambda, so we are passing these informations. Now it came to the this is the output of the first. Now go to the second. Second input is this one, right? It was coming from the first. And what is the output? Output step method, right? Output is the step method, so it should show to the second. Let me go and check what is uh, the configurations we have done, because in the second part we should as an input we should get the output also. Second part, yes, second part I'm expecting this much return should become, right? So let me check why it is not happening. Go to the second one, right? I'll go to the detail, my state functions, edit part, here. Here type you have did mistake, we have to put the type is equal to tags, and this one should be the resource, right? That's why it was not working. Save it, save anyway. Now start execution, pass this, come back. As first I showed, this is the input, we are not taking this input, output is giving this part. And the second, if you see the input, it is input coming from the first one, and see the output, this is output from the second one, right? Now in the first I was taking the hardcode input, right? This time let me change something in the first one to get the input from the test here. Okay, so what I will do, I will just, instead of this hard code, let me take from the test executions. So now I'm taking from the step function test. So I little bit change here. I'm taking from the event and passing and sending to the second one. Now deploy it. Now go to the here, and again I want to new execution, and this time what I will do, I will not take the hard code, but I am passing something from here. Okay, I am passing the Honda or passing the Tata, right? Any different car that should not accept the condition. Execution, again it is successful. Go. This time if you see, I am getting the input from the test execution, and output, same output, we are not changing the output. And the second, this is the input, and output, if you see, this is the output, the 2x, right? This is the how the complete flow work. Thank you very much for watching this video. I would recommend please subscribe this channel to get many more videos. Thank you.